Welcome to Homeschooling Channel. Standard 10th History, Unit 7 Anti Colonial Movements and the Birth of Nationalism. Friends, this video talks about the Indian Rebellion of 1857, an occasion when some of the people in a country try to change the government using violence is called rebellion. In 1857, British rule witnessed the biggest challenge to its existence. Initially, it began as a mutiny of Bengal Presidency sepoys, but later expanded to other parts of India involving a large number of civilians, especially peasants. The events of 1857 to 58 are significant for the following reasons. This was the major revolt, and the revolt ended the role of East India Company, and the governance of Indian subcontinent was taken over by the British crown. Let's see the causes of the revolt. The political causes. Annexation policy of British India. In the 1840s and 50s, more territories were annexed through two major policies. The doctrine of paramountcy. British claimed themselves as paramount, exercising supreme authority. New territories were annexed on the grounds that the native rulers were int. The doctrine of lapse. If a native ruler did not have male heir to the throne, the territory was to lapse into British India upon the death of the ruler. Sadara, Sambalpur, parts of the Punjab, Jhansi, and Nagpur were annexed by the British through doctrine of lapse. Insensitivity to Indian cultural sentiments. In the year 1806, the sepoys at Vellore mutinied against the new dress code, which prohibited Indians from wearing religious marks on their foreheads and having whiskers on their chin, while proposing to replace their turbans with a round hat. It was feared that the dress code was part of their effort to convert soldiers to Christianity. Similarly, in the year 1824, the sepoys at Barakpur near Calcutta refused to go to Burma by sea, since crossing the sea meant the loss of their caste. The sepoys were also upset with discrimination in salary and promotion. Indian sepoys were paid much less than their European sepoys. They felt humiliated and racially abused by their seniors. The immediate cause of the revolt was the circulation of rumors about the cartridges of new Enfield rifle. There was a strong suspicion that the new cartridges had been greased with cow and pig fat. Cartridges had to be bitten off before loading. Here, pork is forbidden to the Muslims and cow is sacred to a large section of Hindus. On 29th March, a sepoy named Mangal Pandey attacked his European officer. His fellow soldiers refused to arrest him when ordered to do so. So Mangal Pandey, along with the others, were court martialed and hanged. This only fueled the anger, and in the following days, there were increasing incidents of disobedience. Burning and arson were reported from the army cantonments in Ambala, Lucknow, and Meerut. Bahadur Shah proclaimed as Emperor of Hindustan. On 11th May 1857, a band of sepoys from Meerut marched to the Red Fort in Delhi. The sepoys were followed by an equally crowd who gathered to ask the Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah II to become their leader. He proclaimed himself as the Emperor of Hindustan. Soon the rebels captured the northwestern province and Ayodhya. By the effect of this, the British rule in North India, except in Punjab and Bengal, had disappeared. The civil rebellion. The mutiny was equally supported by an rural society of North India. Sepoys working in the British army were in fact the peasants in uniform. They were equally affected by the restructuring of the revenue administration, the Sepoy revolt, and the subsequent civil rebellion in various parts of India had a deep rooted connection with rural mass. The first civil rebellion broke out in parts of northwestern provinces and Ayodhya. A large number of zamindars and talukdars were attracted to the rebellions as they had lost their various privileges under the British government. The talukdar peasant collective was a common effort to recover what they had lost. Similarly, artisans and handicrafts persons were equally affected by the rulers. Simply, the mutiny provided a platform to the aggrieved kings, nawabs, queens, and zamindars to express anti British anger. Mr. Nana Sahib, the adopted son of the last Peshwa Baji Rao, too, provided leadership in Kanpur region. He had been denied pension by the company. Similarly, Begum Hazrat Mahal and Gan Bahadur in Bareilly took the command of their respective territories, which were once ruled either by them or by their ancestors. Another important leader was Rani Lakshmi Bai, who assumed the leadership in Jhansi. After her case, Dalhousie, the Governor General of Bengal, had refused her request to adopt a son as her successor. Rani Lakshmi Bai battled the mighty British army until she was defeated. By the beginning of the June 1857, the Delhi, Meerut, Rohilganj, Agra, Allahabad, and Banaras divisions of the army had been restored to British control and placed under martial law. However, after the siege of Delhi, there was an attempt to seek the support of the neighboring states. Besides a few Indian states, there was a general lack of enthusiasm among the Indian princes to participate in the rebellion. The Indian princes and jamindars either remained loyal or were fearful of British power. The emerging English educated middle class too did not support the rebellion. One of the main important reasons for the failure of the rebellion was absence of central authority. There was no common agenda that united the individuals and the aspirations of the Indian princes and the various other federal elements fighting against the British. In the end, the rebellion was brutally suppressed by the British army. India becomes a grown colony. The British Parliament adopted the Indian Government Act in the year 1858 November, and India was pronounced as one of the many crown colonies to be directly governed by the Parliament. The responsibility was given to a member of cabinet designated as the Secretary of State for India. There were a lot of changes in the administration. British rule and its policies underwent a major rule after 1857. British followed a cautious approach to the issue of social reform. Queen Victoria proclaimed to the Indian people that the British would not interfere in the traditional institutions and religious matters. It was promised that Indians would be absorbed in government services. two significant changes were made to the structure of Indian army. The number of Indians was significantly reduced. Indians were not allowed from holding important ranks and position. Finally, the British exploited the caste, religious, linguistic, and regional differences in Indian society through what came to be known as divide and rule policy. And friends, this is the question corner. Who proclaimed as the Emperor of Hindustan? Post your answers in the comment section. Friends, stay tuned with our homeschooling channel. Thank you.